1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move. Whatever click you choose.
Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to Life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! For those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing right there on that intro, man. And if you want to get that song, it's available only on a 10-song EP. You can purchase it by digital download, or you still can get it on CD. Hit me up on my email, 16tolifemusic@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at 16DALIFE. PayPal, Cashapp, or Zelle me $20, and I'm going to get it to you ASAP, man. Now let's hop right up into this story.
Corrections now investigating the death of an inmate. The inmate was found dead this morning in his cell at Mule Creek State Prison in Ione. That inmate is identified as Robert Cole. He was sentenced to life in prison in 2019 for sex crimes against kids, and those crimes happening in Placer County. His cellmate was Justin Welsh, and he's been placed on restricted housing pending the investigation. Welsh was sent to Mule Creek after assault and domestic violence convictions. Prison officials say they are investigating the death of Cole as a homicide.
We got another stabbing. We got another homicide in a California prison. This prison is called Mule Creek State Prison. So yeah, that's the same prison where unfortunately the two ladies who was visiting on a conjugal visit lost their lives. So Mule Creek right now is a hot prison in California now. For those of you guys who may not be aware, Mule Creek State Prison, according to all the research I've done, is an exclusive sensitive needs yard. So those who are not familiar with the term sensitive needs yard, it is basically a PC prison, protective custody, you know, for people who have bad charges or who cannot do time among the general population, right? Now check out this news video explaining why the latest victim of homicide in a California prison was initially arrested.
Back to our top story today. A Grass Valley man is in jail facing child molestation charges, and tonight police want to know if there are other potential victims out there. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Lopez.
And I'm Adrienne Moore. CBS 13's Mark Thompson is live with the latest. Mark.
Yeah, Tony, Adrian, a 41-year-old Robert Cole is housed here in the Placer County Jail facing some pretty serious child molestation charges. 2 counts, in fact, one carrying a potential sentence of 15 to life, the other 25 to life. And what's also interesting about this case is that his twin brother was arrested on similar charges around the same time last year. After interviewing witnesses, police acted quickly to arrest 41-year-old Robert Cole last night at his Grass Valley home.
It's a very serious, just disgusting charge.
Cole is charged with 2 counts of molestation involving a child under the age of 10 years old. Police say the alleged crimes took place sometime over the past 6 months when he lived here at this residence in Lincoln. Police say Cole also served as a volleyball coach for an area club team.
That added to our concerns to make sure that he was not around juveniles without supervision.
And police are asking other potential victims to come forward.
I don't pass any judgment on Robert or I try not to pass judgment on anybody.
But neighbors say they were not surprised by the allegations given the family's history.
Not particularly shocked. We had heard rumors about the brother.
Cole's twin brother, Jason Cole, was arrested on child molestation charges around this same time last year. Jason Cole is a former volleyball coach for Roseville High.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so to say, and it just makes me sick, the whole thing.
A disturbing set of circumstances for this dad who's familiar with both brothers.
Sickening to know that this happens still today, and it makes me feel bad for the the people that are affected by it.
Now, Jason Cole has maintained his innocence. He says that he was set up at the time. His case is still pending. As far as Robert Cole, his bail is set at $3 million, and his next court appearance is scheduled for April 23rd. Back to you.
So as you see, he also was arrested, and his brother was arrested for pretty much the same charges. Now, I do not remember which upon doing my research on these individuals, but one of these dudes happened to, at one point in time, get Teacher of the Year. Now, these two individuals were volleyball coaches at high schools and different little volleyball leagues and stuff like that in a place called Placer County or Placer County. I don't know which one is correct, the correct pronunciation, but that is about 65 miles away from Sacramento. So in this situation here is, I guess, around 6:30 on April the 4th, one of the guards happened to be walking around checking the cells early in the morning, and he happened to notice that Robert E. Cole was unresponsive. So they opened the door, they went in the cell, noticed he suffered severe trauma along with several stab wounds. They took him to the triage, which is like the little nursing area in the prison, and he was unresponsive and later on succumbed to his wounds. Now, the individual that I just mentioned who lost his life, man, he had some horrific charges. You know what I'm saying? His charges was so ugly. I don't even know if I should read them on YouTube, but I'll just try to give them to you in a way that I'm gonna censor it, man. The dude had some charges. He had several different charges, and he ended up getting a life sentence. So he had several different charges of forcing himself on a person under the age of 10, forcing himself orally on a person under the age of 14 who was unconscious, forcing himself, and all different type of things. Anything that you can imagine, this dude was charged with it, man, on people under the age of 10, under the age of 14. So this dude, he was a cold monster, right? Man, hey, no pun intended, right? I just realized that I said he was a cold monster, and his name happened to be Cole. So yeah, this dude this dude had some ugly charges, man. So from the research, I see that he came to prison on August 8th, 2019, and like I said, the dude was already sentenced. Well, he was sentenced to life, you know, and so he lasted 6 years. And if you ask me, that was a long time considering the charges that this dude has. You know, I was in the county jail, and when I got arrested, and anytime you had individuals who was charged with things like that, even though I've never even heard of someone remotely being close to the things that this dude was charged with. But anytime you have an individual charged with things along those lines, they get 0% love. And that's from, you know, the prisoners, the convicts, and especially, whether you believe it or not, they're hated the most by the guards. The guards really have great disdain for individuals like that, and many times the guards will do as much as they can while not doing as much as they can to set those guys up. If you get my drift right. Now, his cellmate, the one who was accused of committing the homicide on Cole, his name was Justin P. Welch. He was 36 years old, and I believe he came to jail from San Bernardino. He came to jail in May 19, 2023. He was sentenced to 18 years for corporal injury. He had a GBI, which is a great bodily injury, and it was also within 7 years of a prior conviction. So basically, he had got sentenced to this 18 years, and he had done something within a 7-year period that was somewhat similar to this. This also was his second strike, and he also had a prior for domestic violence. So I don't know, and I'm just speculating here, I don't know how Welch happened to discover what Cole was charged with. According to this report, that they were cellies, they were cellmates, and you know, like I said earlier, when the guard came by and walked around, the guy was unresponsive, and he had been stabbed several times in the cell. And then so at some point in the investigation, Justin P. Welch was handcuffed and he was placed in the restrictive housing unit. Now, the dude who was accused of taking the life of Cole, he had a considerable amount of time. He came to prison, like I mentioned earlier, in 2023. He had 18 years, and so he was probably going to at least have to do somewhere around 15 years of that if he had stayed out of trouble and disciplinary free. So when he got out, he would have been somewhere around the age of 51, 52, somewhere up in there. But imagine just going to jail, you know, doing that time and then basically throwing your life away because another person likes to do things that he shouldn't do with underage kids. I also dug around some trying to find out the conclusion or the end results of his brother, who was also charged with similar charges, and I couldn't find anything that indicated that he had been convicted or took a deal. So possibly those charges was dropped, dismissed, or whatever. Anyway, though, here's just an ugly situation, man, about, you know, the California prison life and the prison life in general. Charges like that are greatly frowned upon, even by convicts themselves. And when they run across individuals like that, it does not turn out good for them. Actually, I seen maybe about 3 or 4 years ago in the same prison, another guy with similar charges met the same fate at the hands of his cellie. So anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.